What's up, everybody? It's Jonathan Wood. I've got my special guest joining me tonight. It's none other than the big show, Ryan Shinning, tuning in live. Hey, just so everybody knows, I'm sorry we couldn't get to you guys Sunday night. I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day. Just a busy weekend for me, and I ran out of time. The people I had lined up were all crunching on their cars. So we want to say thank you for joining in. There's a lot to get to tonight. A lot of big shows this week, but a lot of big shows. Why not talk to the big show? So thanks, Ryan, for joining us on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
You're no stranger to the podcast. I've had you on here before. New format. And I gotta start asking you just for there's been a bunch of new listeners that have started watching this, and people just wondering, about some of the past episodes. They don't really like listening. So we got some watchers, we got some listeners. So I just want to go ahead and introduce yourself. So your name's Ryan Shinning, and what do you drive?
Started out driving a lot of gut and go stuff, but now I'm going in. I've been running mods for 2-3 years now. So we're gonna stick with the mods for right now.
All right. Soulless but happy said there's a bad echo. Probably on mine. Let me try something real quick. Oh, I know why. Hold on just a second. We're gonna try something. Soulless, is the echo gone now? If you're watching still. Turn your volume down just a little. We'll try that. Thanks for the feedback there. We could have got real far and it all sounded really jumbled.
Yeah.
Is it echoing still or no? I don't know what no means. Is that better? All right, perfect. It could have been the fact that I had a bunch of different YouTube things loaded, but that's all right. We can get into that. So tell everybody so Mod Compacts is what you got into that I know of last. Just kind of talk to everybody about how you got started with Demolition Derby.
Well, growing up, watched several uncles do it. My dad did it. So it's in the blood. When I got old enough, 17, I tried one, and I've been going hard ever since.
And when you get when you're pulling on the track or whenever you're getting ready for the Derby, explain to everybody what's Derby day look like for you. You got a son, you got a wife, explain Derby day.
It's hectic, but it's a great time. I run with a lot of family members, so I stick with a group about 5 or 6 of us, and so it's a lot of fun times. But the adrenaline, it's all coming together. Stomach starts hurting a lot. Your stomach's rolling. Until you get to pull out there and get started. It's a fun time though.
And whenever you're getting started, so talk about the preparation that goes into your cars. So what is I've been told a lot of times with some of the feedback I've been getting, they say, man, I don't even know what a mod compact is. So whenever we're saying mod compact, what is that?
It's the compact cars. V6 cars. A lot of welding. You got these full engine cradles, headers, simplified harnesses, given, motor more to start with, steering columns, aftermarket, pedal combos, shifters, headers,
So a lot of work. A lot of work goes into these.
a lot of times being put into these mods, especially.
So let's take a step back. Last year, I think, was it last year you ran Blizzard Bash?
Yep, this past November.
Let's talk about the process of getting. So how do you even get into Blizzard Bash?
I think, as a single person, you try to claim a team spot. Myself, I wasn't able to claim a team spot. But actually, a guy I met up in Kansas at Capital City Carnage a couple of years ago, as just a single hobo driver, reached out to me and he said, I got a spot. You want to run? And that's the top, top of the food chain there. Some of the greatest drivers in the world go there. So it was definitely a chore to be able to go run up there.
So you got asked to be on a team?
I did.
Who asked you?
Thad Church.
Thad Church, okay.
From Kansas.
Yep.
So,
when did he ask you? About what month was this?
We were May or June. We were just getting into fair season. So, it was, it kind of put a damper on my fair season schedule.
Yeah, I know. I'd talked to you a couple times and you're like, the big shows just got to run big shows this year.
Yeah, I had to give it a try. Definitely, no luck. I didn't win it, but had the time of my life up there. Really, I did.
So, talk about what kind of car did you run?
A 97 Monte Carlo, a W body. So that's pretty common up there. Yep, there she is. Ran into some motor trouble, and so it didn't pan out our way.
So talk about kind of jumping ahead here. So you're at Smash It Demolition Derby puts on Blizzard Bash for anyone that don't know. And so talk about Team Derby. How's it feel like preparing the car? Like, what was there any hoops or anything that set you back throughout the build, or?
Well, actually, a lot of people know this, but some don't. I made to be able to go. I made a gamble with the wife, due to some personal issues. So I actually did not build my own car this time. A lot of people don't know that, but some do. I paid to have it built, and I got to stay at home. But then in November, I had a car for Blizzard Bash. So this one I personally didn't build, but I put some time into it at the end. So yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Who built your car for you?
Kenneth Duff.
Oh, okay.
So he's no stranger to, building these W bodies and running Blizzard Bash himself.
Yeah, and for a lot of people that don't know, I worked for Smash It on making social media reels and stuff of the pre-show process and during the show, and I was walking around this car and I go, man, that's a solid build. And he did a really good job on it. Probably, I want to say, out of your team, I felt like you had the best built car on your team.
I ran with a couple new guys, and learned a lot. Really, I did.
Who'd you run with?
Thad Church, Richard Michaels, and Clinton Collins.
Yeah, and Clinton Collins, for those that don't know, he's actually scheduled next on the podcast. He went to Bash for Cash, and we get to hear about his journey through that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Well, So how did you have any goodies in this car?
Yeah, I had a uh, simplified harness. You know, the works to be able to go up there, and ended up blowing a motor up there. So the first time I've ever blown up a motor.
Well, how'd that happen? Revving it
I
up too much in the parking lot, or what?
I don't think so. We thought we were settled in the Concy, and we go make one hit in the Concy, and she lets go. So first time for that at the biggest show in the world. So not my best moment there.
And let's talk about your. So, what was your experience? You've been out there before.
Yeah, I've ran a couple.
You drove through that tunnel before. So, was the experience going through the team show of Blizzard Bash any different than going out there like during Carnage and a singles event?
Oh, for sure. You know, going out at Blizzard Bash, you know, you're running with 8 people. You know, there's 8 cars on the track. Compared to Capital City Carnage, you're running 25, 30. And you got to be able to work together. Of course, we drew a stacked team that's been at Blizzard Bash and been a household name, and was honestly some of the greatest guys I've ever ran against. Really good, being good competition, but also getting out, shaking your hands afterwards, and actually let me borrow some tires for the Concy because I blew my set of tires, and I'd loaned out my other set, and they let me borrow a set for the Concy. So really good sportsmanship up there with them guys.
How'd Tech go?
We had a couple things that I didn't necessarily like to cut, but you know they were pretty fair about it. Um, it was I I felt that they were fair, but also kind of give you some leeway a little bit as much as they could.
Yeah. I know from what I was hearing, the biggest notable thing in the compact class was if you look at this picture, the single window bar. Uh, that's something new. I haven't seen at Blizzard Bash. They've always had two, and a lot of the guys come rolling through with two, and they're like, "You got to cut one of those window bars." And there was some unhappy people
I
about it.
I I had two until the day before the Derby, or a couple days before the Derby, when when they really found out everybody was running two window bars, and so I went ahead and cut mine at home, so I didn't have to cut it up there.
So the luck on the track, you drew SAF. Heat
Yes.
stock is you know what,
Yeah.
and they're known for being stock. No, they're a
Yeah.
tough team. They're a
Very
very
tough
tough
team.
team up there. They've actually gave OMM a run for it a couple times, I think, too. So that's a tough team. A lot of good drivers, a lot of experienced drivers up there. How'd the heat go? Look,
The last car running.
Walk us through your viewpoint of your heat.
I knew prior year before. I watched them. I watched OMM draw them twice, so I knew they were fast on the pedal. So I wanted to get out there and try to make some of my own luck. And I tried to stay out in front of them. Then we lost the car pretty early, and then the other two went thereafter. So there at the end, I was down by the entrance and tried to make a circle around, and I didn't have the steering wheel didn't turn enough, and they kind of got me up there, kind of just pushed me up against the wall and just kind of held me till my minute went out. Pretty. For them it was pretty easy to do.
Yeah, that's but yeah, it was you're seeing on the screen now. I don't know if it's still echoing or not. I really hope that the screen share is not what causes the echo. If anyone's watching, There's some people watching. Is it echoing now that the screen share's on again? But yeah, we'll wait for a comment to roll through. But it was a tough heat. I mean, you had a good hit there, and it looked like you were lining up for a big shot and just a big swing and a miss, though. And
Yeah,
that's how it happens, though. Right here, you kind of
yeah.
How did the how'd that wall feel?
It's a little rough.
Yeah, that was a quick heat, though. Luckily, though, it looked like the cars weren't tore up too bad. So in the Blizzard Bash team show, there's if you don't make it, you have to go to the consolation, and you have a allotted time to make repairs. So how did that go for you? The repair process.
I had a great group of guys back here helping me. A couple of guys that I run with during the fair season. They come up and help me get everything. They helped me get her welded up, and we fixed the back end and tied the cradle into the frame rails, and so I think we were back in the barn by like 4 o'clock. So they were very great to have up there to help me.
Yeah, I went down there, and you guys had a lot of help. It looked like at Clinton. It looked like he was hanging out with his the Pryors, and it looked like he was getting help over there. And when I walked up to Clinton, I'm sure we'll talk about this next time. But he goes, "Yep, this is my first mod show, and I'm on a Blizzard Bash team."
Yeah,
I was like, holy smokes!
Yeah, he was. He kind of hung out over there, and myself and Richard and Thad, we had some great guys over there helping us. Actually, some people that I run against down here, come over and lended a hand. So that's always great to see them, see other people come in and offer to help you out.
Yeah, and we had a lot of Missouri drivers there. Kyle Ortenhausen, All American Racing on the screen. He was one of them, and he can attest those walls are really hard. And,
oh yeah,
they
didn't feel great.
It's like having an extra person out there. If you use them to your advantage, we'll see. All over the country, you'll see drivers push cars into concrete barriers or really hard walls, and it really hurts some cars. So,
oh yeah,
when your guys that aren't familiar with the sport that are watching demolition derbies, and you see a car pushing a car across the track and right into a wall, that does a lot of damage.
Yeah,
and sometimes I've seen it do more damage than what you would see at a full track shot, because the wall is just so hard and it does not move. So.
Yeah, they're packed tight in there. I'll tell you that. So,
and I've seen cars break walls, so that happens.
That does.
So we kind of talked about your. I can hear the echo now. I don't know why it's doing that today. We've talked about your run at Blizzard Bash, and I asked you earlier. Yeah, it's got to be that YouTube thing. I was trying to see if I could get it to echo. I asked you earlier what was your favorite derby that you ever ran in, and you answered Lebanon, Missouri. And that derby, you got a little rowdy. What happened through that derby?
Well, we just come back from my first Capital City Carnage, and I had a whole group of family with me, and I told them from the get go, I was like, I feel like this is the one we're gonna get. We're just gonna go send it so this car can be junked, so we can build a fresh one for fair season. And from the drop of the flag, I stood on it until the officials said no more.
Yeah.
We got called for team driving, and myself and the crowd mostly did not like it at all.
I've never seen big old Big Show move like that ever.
I wasn't happy. Big Orange was down there. He wasn't happy. Brian was down there, so it was probably my greatest, but it didn't end up like I would like it to. So,
yeah, turn down your volume just a little bit on your phone.
All right, let's try that.
What I don't know why it's doing that. So I gotta ask you, what's the plan this year? You got any plans for this year?
Well, we're gonna start off the year at the Boone County Team Show. Myself and Phyllis, we're gonna go run the 2-man mod team show put on by Lucky Sevens.
You're running the mods? Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah!
So
that's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, Jacob's been telling me for the last 2 years I'm gonna get a team show, and I told him whenever he gets one, I'd be the first one to sign up.
Oh, so you signed up last year?
No, well, I guess we didn't sign up for the hobo. I guess no, we didn't. I ran that night. I didn't get to run the team show though. But
yeah.
no.
Oh, you were there, yeah.
I was there.
Oh, I remember now. Gas can.
Gas can come off. Last year was a string of bad luck for me. We're hoping to turn it around.
Yep, you ran Boone County. Gas cap came off, and could you find it or what?
Yeah, Jacob helped me find it. It was laying right there in the speaker deck. I was like, golly.
Then right after that, didn't Ferguson come clear across the track or something?
Yeah, knocked my back wheel off.
Well, it's came to Boone County, and then do you have anything else lined up, or is it just gonna go from there? Just gonna see.
We're hoping to make. I'd like to make it to some more, some Lucky Seven stuff, and then just finishing off the car, so we can start something new, maybe.
I got a Snapchat from Joshua just out. He said, just call me Kyle Worthausen. So the Team Missouri colors are red, white, and blue. So they're all red, white, and blue cars. It's definitely a different look.
They look good.
The cars are looking good.
I saw Jacobs the other night.
Yep. So we're heading to Border Wars. That's our next. We're leaving Thursday. So
are you going recording?
Yep.
That'll be good.
All right. We're just gonna. I've got some more off the wall questions here on this podcast.
All right, let's do it.
Hope you're ready for this. So, yeah, apparently it's the color to have, right? Red, white, and blue. So, this is the new part of our segment here on the Crashed It podcast, and it's what's your craziest moment ever on wheels? Just tell us all about it.
Oh gosh, craziest moment. Oh. So is it Derby just while I've been on the track, or
any moment of your life, the craziest moment you've ever had on wheels? I've had people on here tell me they've been 100 on a beach and hit a log and went airborne. We've had all kinds of crazy stories.
Oh gosh, I don't know. We hit about 70. Ooh,
Hey, you got a background story. This.
yeah. I'm trying to think of my best one. Um, I'd say it's got to be in a derby car. Uh, before
You hit
Columbia moved
70
back.
in a derby car?
Hey, I'm telling you, this is a wild story.
All right, let's
Um,
hear
before Columbia come back to the Columbia Fairgrounds, and they had the derby there in Sturgeon. Um, I was just coming into Gutton. I was just doing Gutton goes, and Joe Martin. We're kind of friends, or so what, And he said I could ride with him, so I rode with him, and it got down to about three of us, him and his brother, and Jesse Gonzalez, and his brother was pretty much trying to hold Jesse down by the wall. And we went up there and we full tracked him. He was, Joe's got a big motor in his cars, and we probably hit six. I don't know how fast we were going. I don't want to get it wrong, but we hit him, and right before we got him, he got loose, and we ate the wall. I mean, oh God! I mean, I'm a big boy. Everybody knows it, and I was up in the seat. I mean, about to come out the windshield. That's how fast we were moving. I was like, oh, never again. Never again.
All
Wow.
right.
So, yeah, that's probably going to be my craziest story.
So your craziest moment happened in a derby car. This is our first derby car craziest moment we've had on the podcast.
Yeah, well,
Believe it
Joe
or not.
Martin, he didn't let her go.
All right, we got another segment we're adding. At any time, we can get a question from a listener. It can be as off the wall as you want.
Oh, no.
Whenever one comes
This
in,
is
I'll
going
just
to be
pick
bad.
one, and that's gonna happen though. So any listener that's on here can ask any question they want, and I'll just put it on there. It can be off the wall as you can get. It don't matter to me. But it's just another new segment that we have. But while we're waiting on a question to roll in, um, do you have any sponsors or anyone you want to thank for, or any family members that you want to thank
Um,
for allowing you to do what you do?
for one, my wife, Bailey, she's a great blessing, with all the long hours we put into these cars. Um, my teammates, Jake Garnett, John Aller. Those are the two biggest ones. Jacob Garnett, um, Phyllis Garnett. Well, John with OBFS. Phyllis and Jake with Garnett Hill. That's our derby team that we run with. Um, and LMMF, Ryan Sealock, go-to guy for all your wiring and computer needs there. Oh, can't
All
forget
right.
my son. Can't
All
forget
right.
my son.
I was going to say, Brenton's going to be beating you up.
Yeah, he listens to this tomorrow. He's gonna be like, why didn't you say me first? No, he's my biggest one. He follows me everywhere I go, and he's ready to hit the track this summer.
All right. We got a question that rolled in from Kyle Wardenhausen. Here it goes.
Oh boy.
So he says, "What's the hardest shot you have ever taken, and who gave it to you?"
And who gave it to me? He knows what this is.
Well, let's hear it. I don't.
Mocaine. Um, not last year, but the year before. I was a rider with John Aller, and we're sitting there. We had just hit Derek, and we're down there by the wall, and Kyle decides to open her up, and I mean you can ask him. My eyes got real big when I looked back, cause I heard it coming. I'm like, oh God! I told John, I said, John, he's coming. I looked back, and at the last second, great to say this about a driver, but he swerved back and hit the back of the car. Because really, if he probably would have hit me in the door, I don't know what would have happened. It wouldn't have felt good, that's for sure. But it was a full track shot. You know, you heard him coming, and it was, yeah, Kyle did it. He's the man for that one.
Yeah. Yep. Made a reel for me, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't
I
wait
see
to
it get
post
shared
that.
all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Thanks, Jonathan.
Oh,
So,
I love it. I love it when a driver goes all the way to the one end of the track and just picks a target and feeds it.
oh,
He never let off. I mean, the whole way through. And honestly, it was going to be the shot of the year until there were some other ones, but
yep,
it definitely was one of the top 5 on the hard hits video that year for sure.
yep. Good old Kyle bringing her home.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good question, Kyle. We thank you for
Way to
asking
go,
that.
Kyle.
Yeah. So let's talk about the passion. You're a passionate guy when it comes to demolition derby, and so where's that even come from? Like, why do you even do it?
You know, besides from the, you know, of course, growing up, um, you know, from the family aspect of it, um, I guess it's just in my blood, I guess. So I made sure that, you know, I do it while my son's around. And, you know, he's involved with it. So, you know, he kind of knows. Anybody that really knows me knows that, you know, I lost my dad when I was just a teenager. So, you know, I feel closer to him when I do it. So that's, and, you know, it's a big thing that, you know, as I've grown up, you know, I've learned, you know, keep, you know, this is going to be stuff my son will remember when, you know, my time comes and I'm gone.
Yeah.
So that's got to be my biggest thing.
Yeah, and whenever I was getting into figure 8 demolition derby, it was a family thing for me. But once you have kids, I'm telling you, if you've got kids, bring them to the track. I have girls, okay? I have girls, and they play every sport there is. They're competitive by nature. But boy, let me tell you, you put one of them in a driver's seat, and I've had more fun with this youth class, I mean, than I've ever had in a car. And, you know, it's the people of this sport just make it better and better. I just posted a video. She's been wanting V-tread tires forever, but
I've
she
seen that.
breaks
I
her
watched
car.
that today.
She breaks her car every time, so I can't afford it. I'm too busy trying to fix the car. Well, Hans Anderson and Beth and Hans Anderson, they reached out and sponsored her some tires, and
I've seen that today.
man, she was speechless. I mean, she sat there the whole way home, just smiling ear to ear, just like, yeah, I got. She calls them grippy tires,
Grippy
and
tires.
grippy tires.
You know,
That's what he said when he opened it.
that's, you know, I run around with a small group, you know, and I've learned over the, you know, the last, you know, really the last couple of years that, you know, that group keeps me going.
Yeah. Put it in the microwave. That was dinner. So yeah, that's Josh Craig said you just got to put her in a youth derby car for a real ride, and she's already talking about all that, and I'm sure it's gonna happen one of these days. She's gonna have to get a little older than 11 years old before I put her in a derby car, though. Because she's real good about giving out the shots, but when people hit her, she still has a hard time taking them. So
Right.
well, let's so what's the paint scheme for your guys' team this year? What can we expect to see coming on the Boone County team show here?
It's actually something I've never ran before. Actually, I'm usually orange and blue or something like that. So we're actually going like a teal color, um, teal and gray actually this year for Boone County.
Love it. I love that you didn't say we're going to be black, paint our car black.
No, teal and gray.
That's my only complaint as all these team shows that are going on, I think it's awesome. I really do. But I wish the promoters would like say, here's what you got to do if you're going to run the show. You got to paint your car something different. Like, we don't want, like, you could have one black team, but you
Right.
don't want every team to be black. I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, we're going teal and gray.
because at the end of these derbies, every team's black and brown. They got door skins on their thing, but the door skins get ripped off, and then you've got a black car brown with mud, and they
Yeah,
all
there
look
you
the
go.
same. And
Yep.
I'm, as a viewer of Demolition Derby and as a fan, I want to see, like, and the drivers probably would feel a lot better if they knew, like, hey, I'm sending it into this guy, and I hope, I know for a fact it's not my teammate, so I'm just
Right.
going to go hit him. Instead of, I'm going to creep down there and hope I don't screw up my teammate, so I got to check to make sure first.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I know they look at roof signs too, but those are hard. For a blind guy like me, I'm just looking at the color of the car, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, well, do you want to at least give us a little hint of what kind of car you might be showing up in the team show?
The
Or is
Bash
that
ride.
secret? What?
The same car from Blizzard Bash.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a well-built car, so.
These cars cost too much to build fresh every time you go to a new year.
And I think that's the way they made it pre-runs. You can have pre-runs.
Yep.
There's just so many shows and different shows around that people are running. Like, there's a Salisbury show, and I'm sure a couple of them cars will probably make their way down to Boone County as well. And,
well, I'm hoping so. I hoping that Lucky Sevens gets a good show out for this show coming up.
For what I'm hearing, it's going to be just good. It's going to be great. So.
Yeah, I like that. I like what y'all do. Jacob and Josh, I think they run a fair tech, and they're doing great things. So that's why I support them. They've never given me a reason not to.
So what makes derbying fun for you?
I just like tearing shit up. But it's kind of rough. Like right now, I ain't got no energy to get anything together. I need some. I'm hoping this podcast will give me the dedication to go out there and actually get a car put together.
Well, just start watching the channel because I'm be derbying it up.
Yeah, hey,
a lot.
Maybe Jacob and Joshua will give me the to get up and get a car going.
Well, I seen you shared the video of the in car of Jacob. Does that not get you up and going, or what?
Actually, we were watching that. We were up at Salisbury. And I was like, "Did y'all see that of Jacob?" They were like, "No." So I was sitting there in the stands showing it off, saying, "There's your Mad Dog right there." He is something else.
Yeah, open face helmet, no seatbelt. Let's do it.
Hey, he cracks me up, boy.
Freaking crazy.
A ride I never talk about is Boone County. It was actually Columbia again, but it's been a couple years when I rode with him. Now that was a ride, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again.
Well, were you in like a minivan? Was it the minivan?
Yes. He brought home the win.
Walk us through that one.
Oh gosh, so I rode with Tyler Pickens in the mods, and we had already, my back was already starting to feel it. But I already told Jacob, I was like, "Hey man, I want to ride with you." He's like, "All right." So I go and get in the van with him, and we're going, and he's very calm, in situations, and we were just sitting there, kind of, using the back end, just going nice and light, and some van comes and full tracks us back to back, and his demeanor changed, and like a light switch. Next thing you know, we were doing probably 5 or 6 full track back to back shots with this van, and I was like, "Oh gosh, Jacob." And I'm sitting there looking at you guys, You're there, Jessica. I think you were there. Jessica was there. Uh, and I was like, oh God, my back is killing me. And about that time, Jacob gets the job done and wins. It's like, thank God that's over. That was a rough one.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jacob said too. He said, "Hey, back to back in a van, not
No,
fun."
I mean
He said,
everybody knows me. I ran my fair share of vans, but I'm not a back-to-back guy. I'm gonna I'm gonna use the front end till the bumper's off. We're catching fire probably. You know, so it's he's definitely a different driver than I am.
"Yeah, oh, he's a money driver.
Oh, he is.
You never know what he's gonna get, what you're gonna get with him. You're either gonna get balls to the wall, or I'm gonna try to win."
And he was trying to win, and he did, and my back hurt for a solid 2 weeks after that.
I had a comment come in. Swipers Disc Golf Adventures team show gonna have heats. So the Lucky
I don't
Sevens
believe
team
so.
show in Columbia is just a one and done. We have I think it's 3 or 4 different classes, and it's all one and dones.
Thank God.
No one has to fix nothing at the track. Just go out there and leave it all on the line. So,
Thank God.
yeah, no heats in that one. What's up, Chris? He says SPD. Let's talk about SPD. We didn't even hit on that. So you used to have SPD all the way across your car. What's that stand for?
Skinny pedal down. Ain't nothing changed there.
So a lot of you guys don't know, but Ryan does. I interviewed his son Brenton at Blizzard Bash, and it was a really good interview. And I was editing it just to put it up on the interweb, and I deleted it on accident. But during the interview, I said, what can we expect to see out of you out there in that power wheel, Brenton? And he goes, skinny pedal down all the way. Stone cold face. I mean, he looked me straight in the eye and said, skinny pedal down. I go, yeah, buddy.
Yes. That's something I say, and I try to live by it, and he's starting to develop some habits like his dad, so maybe he'll carry it on.
Well, we wish you the best of luck this year, and thank you for jumping on here and catching up, because we haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it. You guys are doing great things, and always a pleasure to be involved.
Yeah, I had some more stuff prepared, but I've got to fix that echo. That's gonna bug me. I had a bunch of videos and stuff I was gonna have playing in the background, but I planned on screen sharing them on YouTube, and that did not work the way I hoped. So, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you pretty soon, I'm sure, at a Derby, or at least at Columbia for sure. So,
yep, we're gonna see if we can't make it to maybe Fulton, because y'all have Fulton, so maybe we can get a car put together by then. But definitely Columbia.
I was gonna say Fulton is June 21st. We'll be there. So.
Yep, that's gonna be a great one.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun one all the way through, I think.
Yep.
So that's actually double your 2 tickets for the price of one. You get figure 8 and demolition derby action, and the drama that happened at the figure 8 last time at New Bloomfield, I feel like a lot of it's gonna get settled on the track at Fulton. So,
that'll be a good one,
from what I hear anyway, and see.
Yeah.
So. But thanks for coming on. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the rest of our episode here, and so I can get ready to go to Border Wars.
Awesome.
I'll see you later.
All right, thank you.
That was the big show, Ryan Shinning. He's always a really good guy to talk to. If you ever see him walking around the Derby or the pits, say hi to him. He's a really cool guy to get to know, and he's always, he's energetic about Demolition Derby and the good things that happen in the sport. and he's a family man. You see him walk, you heard it. He paid someone to build his car just so he didn't have to spend a bunch of time away from his family. And, that's huge because family comes first and you got to make it happen either way you can. And, Ryan, he found a way to still compete at the highest level and get to spend time months. He wasn't spending months away from his family. He had someone else build his car for him. So I know a lot of people give people crap about not building your car, but at the end of the day, everybody's at the Derby for a reason. I mean, everybody's got their own reasons. Everybody's got, what does it for them? We just got a comment here. Bryce Wather says Power Wheel giveaway at the next event. I don't know if you're the one gonna do it or if that's just the idea still moving forward that from John, but we definitely need to do, if we're not having a giveaway, just like a door ticket, just so we can get more kids in Power Wheels, because that was a really good idea. What's up, Baby Shark? But man, we had a busy weekend with demolition derbies. I don't know if you guys watched any of the derbies that were going on, but from a national scale, I mean, you had Bash for Cash, Smash It Demolition Derby. Awesome show. They had team event and singles. They had 400. Let's see here. Bryce is giving it away. So anyone, bring your kids 8 and under, or I think it's 9 and under. Yeah, 9 and under. And he said it's already been approved. I like it. If not, we'd have approved it, and I probably would have got in trouble, but we did it. But Smash It Demolition Derby, they had over 400 cars hit the track this weekend. It was a crazy show to watch. There was some drama that happened. I reached out, talked to Tim about it. And he told me, I just asked him, what's the highs, what's the lows? And he said, overall, it was a really good show. The weather held out for him. The track was phenomenal, as it always is there in Chillicothe. He said that the youth class, they had, I think it got down to top 5 cars. Don't quote me. 5 or 6 cars, and the pace was super slow. No one was hitting. So my opinion is, and I agree with it, because they're on a time frame. When you have 430 cars, and they told everybody in the drivers meeting before the show started. Let me pull up Tim's message to me. So the last 5 cars were not making aggressive hits. So they, after it reached over an hour and a half, they decided to start breaking sticks. And they decided to break the top 5 sticks and split the prize money between the top 5 and give them all, you got top 5, here's the split. And I don't know how they dealt with the trophy situation, if they flipped a coin or whatever for that, but they're trying to fit a show in a certain amount of time, and they've already told everybody beforehand, from what I was told, that hey, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna add this class, but if you're gonna be on the track, you guys are gonna have to be making aggressive hits and not just out there love tapping each other. And the last 5, I haven't seen it personally to even weigh on what I feel like, but from what I was told, it sounds like to me they made the right call. They said they weren't making any aggressive hits. Everybody I talked to said that it was like watching paint dry. These kids weren't trying to take each other out. They were just seeing who would run out of gas, basically. So if that's the case, which I'm sure that's from what I've been told from multiple people, that's pretty much how it was. That's what I would, I back that decision of breaking them all off, splitting them up, and say, hey, we told you guys before the Derby started that we needed it done in less than an hour and a half, or less than, I think they said 70 minutes is what they wanted it done in, and it was an hour and a half. But then on the other side of that, you know, derbies at the national level, you see them run hours and hours on end. So I don't know if they were just trying to set like a new tone of like what they expect to see throughout, you know, throughout the show, like for the shows going forward. But Swipers is, that's the way I interpreted it. But overall, you know, the Derby was really good. I did tune in to some moments on Derby Nation, and I was just ended up being too busy to watch the show. Yeah, they wanted aggressive hits is what they told everybody in the drivers' meeting from what I was relayed. But overall, it was a really good show. I mean, the action on the track was nonstop. They said that from what I told everybody, from everyone that told me, they said that there was a compact class. I can't remember which one, but they said they had to have at least 20 Mad Dogs. They couldn't have chose over. If they had 20 Mad Dog awards, they'd have a hard time giving it out. They said from the drop of the flag to the end of the Derby, that whole heat was phenomenal, and I cannot wait to go watch that. I actually planned on doing that after the podcast tonight. They said it's end to end, full track hits, the whole show. So, yeah, from the clips I've seen and from, you know, the reels I've seen and the little bit I got to tune in, I thought it was a really good Derby. You know, I'm taken back. I see all these cars. Yeah, mini stock. That's what it was. Thank you, Swipers Disc Golf. Mini stocks was the full send heat. And yeah, I'm just taken back when I see that them cars rolling. They had over 400 cars hit that track, and all the time we're hearing demolition derbies dying, and then you see these, you know, these events. You got to realize we've got 10 years ago, there were maybe 15 years ago, if you had a derby in your hometown, you had one. And now you might have a derby 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away from you. And like you can go on Derbies of the Show Me State or any Facebook social media and say, where's the derbies next week? And you'll get 6 or 7 options at least. So there's derbies happening all over a lot more frequently, and there's still a ton of cars being junk. These are some passionate people. And man, when you see an event like, you know, Bash for Cash, when all these cars are showing up and these guys are full send, it's hard to beat. I mean, the only thing I complain about is the colors of the cars. I wish they were a little different. We see a lot of black cars at Smash It shows. And I really hope for the Blizzard Bash that they just, you know, had signups for. I hope they make their teams paint their cars different colors. As a viewer, as a fan of the sport, you know, you can get on any of those videos that they post on the Smash It page, and I bet you see a comment about, man, every car's black. I bet a black car wins. Everywhere you go, you see them. But let's go through the winners real quick. So in the stock mini, there was 47 cars, and first it was Tim Moore, Caden Moore, and Russell Sims, top 3. In the stock minis, the stock minivans, mini trucks, SUVs, they had 36 of them show up. Clayton Day from Boyd, Ohio, your winner. Because they always win, Cody. No, if you got a ton of black cars on the track, you can't tell who's who. We're just asking for some kind of, like, at least make it two-tone. Everybody wants a black car. Clayton Day is your winner. Jason McGurn second, and Robert Anderson's third. Youth full size. This is where the top 5 they broke off. But Brendan Barnett, Eric Newberg, Logan Kratzer, Cam Penwell, and Landon Garriger were your top 5, and the Mad Dog was Brianna Milkman. But I think they said the top 10. Cody, you don't hide. I've watched you drive. There ain't no hiding. Just you weren't hiding down there in Salisbury. Congrats on the win, Cody. The Youth Mini, they had 34 cars. Scott Grimsley was your winner. Waylon Witzel was second. Otto Pauly was third. And they gave out 2 Mad Dogs, Rick Harner and Kaylin Seckman. 3-man qualifying pro stocks. I think it just makes it pure passing inspection, but 3-man qualifying teams, pro stocks. They had 10 teams, 30 cars. Teams Fatty Fab got second or first. Team CMB second. Team 42 in the top 3. And Team Collins Metalwork got fourth. Smash It Full, they had 53 cars. Tanner Kane, winner. Michael Kelly, second. And Joey Braun, third. I mean, that track in Chillicothe is massive. They really pile them in there. And, you know, I see all them cars on the track, and you think it's going to go slow. But as a videographer, those guys did an excellent job picking out, you know, where the big shots were going to happen on the live stream. I want to give a shout out to Derby Nation for that. Great job. And the Frank the Tank, Frank Triplet was your winner. And second in the Mad Dog was Christopher DeTillin. I probably butchered that. Christopher DeTillin. And Dave Germain and Dave Riley was your Mad Dog. The Relic Cars, Ryan Clark was your winner. Rick Clark second. Matt Reed third. 3-man National Pro Stocks, they had Team Pimp Products first. Second was Team Miller Swap Meet. Third was Team Ruts Fab. And Team White Boys Design. Man, these Pro Stock National cars were wicked looking. I don't even want to know the hours these guys have into these cars. I would share some video reels with you, but I don't want it to echo too bad. I will figure that out for next week's. 3-man pro stock teams. Team Blue Eagle was your winner. I heard there was a little bit of drama at the end of this one. I don't really know what it was, but it was between Team Blue Eagle and Team Burger Boys. Got second, and Team Nasty Train got third. Team Black Star got fourth. But yeah, so they had a really good event. And then if you're a compact fan, I got to give a shout out to our friends over at DDT. Let me see. I don't want to mispronounce this. I'm sorry. Bennett 114-DDT. Look them up on YouTube if you're a compact fan. They had their first ever live stream this week on YouTube. It's free 99, and they had the Compact Clash in Iowa, and that was a really good show. A lot of junk happened during that. I was going to show more videos of that. I actually created some really hard-hitting footage to show you guys, to show you how well that he did filming this and how well the drivers did showing up and sending it. That was an excellent show all the way through. Congrats to all the winners. I don't have a winners list of that. I know it's T3 Promotions, I think, was the Yeah, 3T Promotions was the promoter. They did a really good job. Watching that though, I went over to Jacob's the other night and we're in his garage and we're watching the Compact Clash. And first thing Jacob says to me is, I don't know how these guys are doing it. And I didn't even notice none of the officials had headsets on. And I didn't see any faults throughout the whole show. I mean, running that derby without headsets on, the officiating crew did really well. So that was pretty fun to watch. I mean, there was just all kinds of shows across the country. Just go on YouTube; they're all over the place. We've got big plans this week. We're getting ready to head out for Border Wars. If you're running Border Wars and want to go pro in your car, hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook or message me. We'll get it set up. I will be there recording. I'm going to be walking through the pits, making some reels and stuff, and helping out Team Missouri. Guys, go out there and represent Missouri, and to all the other drivers that are coming throughout the country, put on a show. I'll be there watching. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. If you plan on sending it, let me know. I'll try to keep the camera on you, and we'll make some reels happen. They've got all kinds of stuff. They've got a Mad Dog class that I'm looking forward to. A couple local guys to us, Henry Ray and Tyler. Henry's running it. I believe Tyler Ray's running a class too. I'm not sure if it's the same one, but that Mad Dog class is gonna be wild. It's just a class full of mad dogs. And a mad dog is just someone that's going to, put on a show and drive like a wild man out there. If for those that are listening that don't know what a mad dog is. Who's all on Team O? I don't even know. But so how Border Wars works, I do know that. So it's a singles event, but you're on a team kind of. So like just say this. So like say in the heats, they have heats in the top three from that heat go on to the main. But in the heats, they like draw out just drivers. I think 3 drivers from each state. There's Missouri, Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Wisconsin, I think. And they just draw, or Minnesota, one of those two. I can't remember. But they draw like just 3 drivers from each state out of the track, out of a hat. And those are the 3 drivers that are going to go compete. And they take the top 3, move on. And then say you get knocked out, though, in your heat, you go to the consolation, you still don't make it. But if a driver from the state that you're from wins, you get paid a set amount of money. I believe it's $1,700. I'm not sure what the payouts are, but I know it's $1,000 for the big cars. Like everybody that's from that state gets $1,000. Slap one in Seth so we can hear him scream the whole time. If he asks me to, I'll throw one on his car. Seth, I just don't want to catch the pregame on that. Anyone that knows Seth knows what I'm talking about. But yep, that's how it works. I mean, so yeah, it's a team show, but it's a singles event. Like if you win, you still get the top prize money, but you get the additional money from your state as well. And it's more of a pride thing. Like the show don't pay a ton of money like at the top end, but if you look at how much money they have to dish out across the board, it's a really good payout. And it makes it really fun. I really hope they were talking about having a singles Royal Rumble class, and I really hope that happens. I always wanted to see one of those live. So Yeah, he does. But Seth, car's looking good. Thanks for sending me that Snapchat. But overall, I'm excited about Border Wars. It's a different format than you see at your normal Derby, but I know there's a lot of drivers from all different states that they're going to go and try to represent their state the best they can. And whenever you're out there running the feature, you want to conserve your car, but you want to help your state out, a driver from your state as well. So essentially it's a team show and a singles event in the same. But yep, if you guys are at Border Wars, see me walking around, give me a shout. I love meeting people. I love talking to new people and just hearing people's story. And if you listen to this and you want to get on the podcast, just reach out. We'll set up a date and time and get you on here. But thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Crashed It podcast. If you're at Border Wars, I'll see you there, and go out there and send it and bend it. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Crashed It podcast. I'm so sorry that I'm not done yet. Actually, I'm not done. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to do it Sunday at the arranged time, but I was going to get a podcast in this week. I will get one in every week this season 4. I want to share you guys a video real quick. This video I kind of put together. And it's it's not working. Hold on just a second. I'm pulling it up. I don't know if it's gonna get. And if you're still on here, tell me if it starts echoing again. I'm trying to pinpoint what the problem was with the echo, but where is it at here? I want to share a video with you guys before I close this one up, just because it's as a father to this sport, of my daughter, everything that she does and everything that people keep doing. She's got so many sponsors. Let me see. She's got so many sponsors and so many people that are, reaching out and helping us, making sure she's getting to the next show. I just want to shout out. So this is a video I put together. It's called Raley's newest sponsor. And so if you need plumbing, give Creative Vision Plumbing a call. I'll just let it play. What's up, Cody? But this look on her face says it all. I mean, if you look on her face, we had to pick her jaw up off the concrete. but that was Hans and Beth Anderson. They donated her some V-tread tires, and we wanted to say, she asked me to make sure I say thank you to Creative Vision Plumbing. Thank you for everything. Getting her some tires. But she's got so many people that are, and they're ready to go. She's got so many people that reach out and help us, and it just takes me back, and it trips me up because that's the community that we got going on here. Is people like that, they're trying to get a well set up right now for their house. They hadn't even been making it to shows, and here they are going out of their way to make sure she's got those grippy tires, as she says it, just because she wanted it. And I just thought that was so cool of them to reach out. They said, we like seeing her, she shows up to the track and she's there to have fun. And we really like seeing girls get involved in the sport, because she's running against a bunch of boys out there. And she was so happy the whole way home. I wish I'd have took videos of the way home, because she's talking so much crap. Like, you heard it in the video. The video on YouTube, Facebook, I've shared it all over. You hear it. The first thing she says is, "I'm gonna win." She's confident. She's got more confidence than anyone that she's gonna win now, because she's got some better tires. So, as a father, I was really excited just to see that look on her face. It just talks about, it's the community. They're awesome people, and look them up if you need any plumbing done. But we will see everybody at Border Wars. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode. We really thank each and every one of you for commenting, messaging. We love the question, from Kyle. That was really good stuff. We thank you all for tuning in. Just keep liking, keep subscribing. We got a lot more stuff coming. But we don't know, Kyle. But thank you guys so much. You have a great night. We'll see everybody at Border Wars. See you next time.